And this is where I first came across your work, because I remember I was living in Colombia when I saw the crowdfunding announcement for a project of yours, a guide to the Birdsong of South America. And I remember reading the description and thinking that this is essentially a project tailor-made for my interest, because it combines Latin American music, Latin American culture, and birds, but also kind of my three biggest interests. And something, so I naturally crowdfunded it, and that came out in 2015. So, I mean, how did you come to be involved in that project?
Yeah, so I mean, it was a natural evolution from that first EP. And at the time, I just started working for Greenpeace. I worked for Greenpeace for 8 years. And at the time, I was going through, a lot of this idea of how can music partner with activism. Music has a great power to touch people and to reach people in different ways. And I just wanted to play with this idea of music and activism. And building on that first EP, I thought it would be incredible to challenge a bunch of different artists to make a piece of music inspired by the song of a bird. And why not make that the song of an endangered bird? And why not use the profits, make it a non-profit album and donate the proceeds to help protect and save these species? So that was just the kind of idea that was born, and the first volume was pretty much a DIY affair. So like my parents hand mailed out all of the vinyls from their house at the local post office in the north of England.
I'm interested in how you selected, because I'm looking at the track listing here. So we've got 10 species, 10 tracks, and 10 different artists from Latin America. How did you go about selecting the species? Was each artist assigned a species, or was there a short list?
Quite a long process.
On the conservation and endangered categories or something like that?
Yeah. So I mean, basically our filter was, critically endangered, or threatened, more or less. And we used the IUCN Red List. And so I first came up with a short list of threatened and endangered species from each country. Then cross-checked with, okay, is there a recording of that song? Because, I mean, there's some incredibly rare birds, right, that the recordings don't exist, or they're really bad quality. And then we offered each artist 3 species from their country, and then let them choose. So we offered them basically a pack with pictures, information on the species, where it's found, what the main threats are, its status, and the songs, and then they chose the bird that they most identified with.
Yeah, how did that happen? How did you, the guys working with you, the musicians, like, did they go to the field? Did they see the Nicephorus wren? Like, they got more into it on the real life?
It's really funny. Alejandra, who is, she's Colombian, and one half of Lula Cruz of the group, they chose the bird and the song without really knowing much about where it came from. And then when she looked into it later, after, when they were writing the piece, she actually realized that the Nicephorus wren is found in the very same town that she grew up in, or the kind of very small region where she's born and where she's from.
Wow.
And she didn't realize, it was just coincidence, and so all of a sudden it took on this whole different meaning for her. And so the song for me it's the song that, it gets me every time, and because there's a really personal story to it.